Hi, how you doing guys? I am going to make this video clip about dating or marrying a Filipina. How do you choose the best woman in the Philippines? This is from my personal experience with a Filipina. You may have different point of view about Filipinas. First, I need to verify some terms to make sure you understand what I mean. Filipinas are women who live in the Philippines or simply women citizens of the Philippines. Men in the West are Western men, but Pinoys who are living in the West are still called Pinoys. They are, in my experience, never called Westerners or men from the West. They are simply called Filipino Americans if they live in the US. Or if they live in Canada, they call Filipino Canadians or Filipino Australian. Every year, thousands of single men from the West visit the Philippines to date or get married with Filipinas, whom they only know through the online dating sites or introduction from families or friends. Single men go to the Philippines to get married with women. It's a long story. There is success and happiness, but also failure and suffering. Let me list some details so that we can reflect together or think together whether or not it's a wise choice to marry a Filipina woman and sponsor her to live abroad. I also like to say about what type of woman you're going to choose if you want to sponsor her to the West and live happily. You know what? You are so lucky to be a single man who lives in the West. It doesn't matter whether you were born or naturalized citizen in the West. You are the dream of thousands of Filipinas who live in the Philippines. You know what I mean? Many of them dream to marry a foreign guy so that they can come abroad to work and make money. Filipino women are popular to Western men because they are stunning and beautiful. Their personality is outstanding. How a Filipino woman attracts to a Western man that much? You got an answer. Yes, because Filipino women have outstanding personality and stunning physical appearance. One of the personalities that are observed is the way they behave with their husband, and they can cook meal daily. They do the housework. They take care of the children. They are good house workers. They manage and organize the household very well. They do these errands with happiness. Filipina women have shiny black hair, slender figures, and appealing eyes, which attract men a lot. They put high value in their relationship and marriage. They are faithful with their husband. They don't do anything to damage their marriage. A Filipina will stand by your side to support you. The way that she behaves, plus the beautiful slender figure, make her a complete mother wife. Generally speaking, here are 10 golden traits about Filipinas. If she loves you, then here is what you get. She lets you take the lead of the family. That means you make decisions because you are the head of the household. She is submissive. She listens to what you say. In the morning when you wake up and climb out of bed, some of them can make a cup of fresh coffee on the table. She stay there, chat with you and wait for you until you finish it. Some of them even put your clothes and bath towel in the bathroom when you take a bath every day. She cooks delicious daily meals for you. After you finish eating, she washes the dishes. She is a good money handler. She will ask you every time she spends the money in the house. She keeps herself in good shape even after she had babies. She does not go out with her friends without you. She does not give you cold shoulder in the bedroom, even though sometimes she's not in a good mood. She is the fresh new bride in the bedroom every day. However, not all Filipinas are faithful is what I said above. Some of them are gold diggers and cheaters. This is the truth. When you chat with them online, it is easy to know if she is a gold digger. She will ask you to send her money and show you her body. You should stop from there. In general, it's hard for a man to recognize a woman who really loves him or just wants a visa to come to a Western country. Filipino women who live in the West are different from women who live in the Philippines. I mean, Filipino women who live in the Philippines are more traditional and more family oriented. You need to pay attention to the way she talks to conclude whether or not she is reliable. When dating or marrying a Filipino woman, you should carefully choose the gentle person who has good personality and beautiful physical appearance. There are many good women living in the Philippines. You can find them at Filipino dating website. Most women are very decent and honest. If you like to interact with instant noodles type of woman, you should be careful. Good and decent women will not accept the liberal lifestyle like instant noodle style. It takes time, okay, to win her heart. They will choose a good man to get married with, so it takes time to get to know each other. When you got her heart, she is yours forever. In other words, if a Filipina accepts you to be her husband, then you marry her for life. Don't marry a Filipina like your grandchild is if you decide to sponsor her to the West. I guarantee your marriage going to be break up. There are many older men who married a woman like 30 or even 40 years younger than they are. Most of such relationships will break up when they are in the West. If you decide to live in the Philippines, then you should be alright. I mean, you can get married with a young wife. But if you decide to sponsor her to the West, then don't get married with a too young woman, like your grandchild is. But some men don't care about that. If the marriage break up, then he will go back to the Philippines to marry another woman. It doesn't matter whether you are a rich or poor man. Women will go around you and treat you like a king when you are in the Philippines. You can pick the best one to date with. Your dollar's value so big in the Philippines, so you have many options to choose the dream woman. I suggest that you find a woman with good personality whom will grow old with you when you come abroad to sponsor her. Men in the West love Filipinas because of their physical appearance and personality. Most of women in the Philippines are sweet, lovely, and young, and family oriented. They are in the age between 20 to 30 years old. They speak English very well. They love Western men because they are treated with respect and good manner. However, most of Filipinas change when they come to the West because they learn the Western culture, but they still keep the traditional value like family-oriented, submissive, gentle, and so on. Nowadays, there are thousands of single men in the West get married with Filipinas every year. There are about 20% of unhappy couples with breakup along the road. Many people say something like this: "Why did you go back to the Philippines to marry a girl? She divorced you, you see?" In fact, many local couples in the West get divorced too. The divorce rate is even higher than 20%. So it's not about you get married with a Filipina in the Philippines and sponsor her to the West and divorce you. It's something else. The age different, or the relationship is not much, or something like that. If you have an opportunity to marry a young woman, then why not do it? You choose a good woman, I think your relationship works out just fine. Most of young Filipinas are seeking a husband in the West so they can live in the land of opportunities. You can find a woman who is younger than you, 20 or 25 years old at ease in the country. So, how to choose the right woman? You should look at the woman in all parts, not a small part on her body. Some men are only interested in a small part of the woman and ignore the rest of her, like the personality, traits, and so on, which is a mistake. You should rate a woman by her personality. Women today have changed a lot in this modern century, especially when they go to developed countries to live for a while. They will become accustomed to Western culture. When you get acquainted with a Filipina, you have to think about she will change when living abroad. You need to adjust your own thinking and behavior to fit her, or choose a woman that meet your standards of up to like 150%. Because when living abroad for a few years, she will change about 50% to remain 100% that fit your standards. Before deciding to search for a Filipino woman for marriage, you should think about what type of woman you like. You can search for many women at Filipino online dating sites and contact them. Then you select the best one to chat with. You will need a few months to chat with her to make sure she is the best one. You can have a few women to meet in the Philippines to choose the perfect life match. Every man has his own type of woman he likes. So instead of listing what type of woman you should marry, I'm going to list 7 types of women you should not get married with. The very jealous woman will make your life miserable and anxious. The very wise woman will make you depressed because you become a weak man in her life. The too dependent woman will rely on the money you bring home. She's not suitable for living abroad. The woman who cares too much for herself without thinking about you and your family, she will use your money to take care of herself without thinking how hard you work to make that money. The too much materialistic woman usually asks about your occupation, what kind of car you drive in, how much money you have in the bank, do you have a house, and so on. This kind of woman cannot be an ideal wife in the marital journey. The woman who tries to change you. Some women always find ways to change you to fit her needs. The talkative woman doesn't want to do anything but prefer to talk to other people, families, and neighbors. In general, you should choose a woman that suits your standards. Pay attention to her personality instead of her physical appearance. When you get acquainted with a Filipino woman online, you don't have much time to communicate with her. If you are an expat in the Philippines and you have more time to hang out with her before marriage, if you decide to marry a Filipina and sponsor her to the West, then you should not marry her during the first trip. You should spend a few weeks there to know her and her family. Then you can go back to your country and carefully think about whether or not she is a perfect match before coming back to get married. I'd like to share this with you about cultural custom in the Philippines. Most Filipinas think marriage is a serious commitment in their life. If you are truly serious, then marry her and sponsor her to live abroad. However, I advise you not to marry a Filipina for just having sex and then run away. That's not nice at all. Thank you, good luck, and have fun.